everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my postpartum recovery. So if you watched my labor and delivery story, you're going to know that I had labial tears, which means I tore sideways. I also had a second degree tear. I don't know what those ones are called, but they're the ones that go towards your butt. But anyways, and I felt everything. I felt all the stitches when all this happened and they were fixing it up. But basically, my recovery was so bad. It hurt so bad because one of my stitches tore open on one of my labial tears. So every time I peed, if anybody knows, you have a lot of acid in your pee. Therefore, to put it simply, it burned so bad. I could barely pee. I had him check it out. He told me to sit down in a tub, stuff like that. I used Aquaphor and I put it on there. So yeah, I was feeling myself up all the time. But the Peri bottle didn't really help anything because you could only dilute it so much. So I would be leaning over on the toilet so nothing dripped down. And then I had this problem with holding my pee because it hurt so bad to pee. And I didn't know what else to do. So that took about 7 weeks of recovery on that. And it hurt. And then having sex was really hard too. And I get it. Some women get pregnant right after and they're not even supposed to have sex yet. And I'm sitting there and I'm 9 weeks out, and that's when we first finally do it. Because I get my birth control in at 7 weeks. They tell you to wait a month. Yada, yada, yada. I had the implant right after Jay. And it's one of the ones that were safe for breastfeeding, which did fine with. But I'm sitting there, and it's the most painful experience ever. Now, fast forward, I'm fine now. Everything's fine now. So, anyways, I don't like the way it healed completely. And I'm scared I'm going to tear that way again. I am kind of more scared of labor now than I was the first time, even though it was a fast labor. But yeah, I had a terrible recovery, and my birth was fine. I don't know what else to say other than my recovery is what scares me about my second child the most, because my recovery was so much worse than my labor. Granted, it was only 7 weeks of, crap, but I'll do it again because I want more babies. It's not going to stop me. What's 7 weeks compared to my whole life, right? I got a whole beautiful baby, 7 weeks of crap. But the Peri bottle, the spray they give you, always ask for extras before you go home. No joke. I used every one of those things. Those panty things helped a lot with the bleeding, which I didn't have too much of. Obviously, I had enough to, need them. But I guess it didn't help much that I'm scarred for life because a whole lady's hand was up inside of me because my placenta didn't come out, and I wasn't able to push it out because when it was starting to come out, the umbilical cord tore off of everything. Everything tore. And so I am officially scarred for life on everything. So my recovery was PTSD wise. So I'm going to be at a different hospital this time because of insurance, but I did like my doctors, and it was a training hospital, so I had 2 people down there looking at my goods, stitching me up. One was learning, she was a first year, and then the other was a third year or whatever, from what all I know. But anyways, that's kind of how my recovery went. It was chaotic, crazy, and extremely painful. Not to mention a breastfeeding newborn while trying not to pee and dealing with all that. So, and doing school. So sitting was a little uncomfortable at the time. But anyways, one last thing. Don't be scared to poop on the table. They see it all the time. I tore up and down. That didn't hurt. When you need to use the bathroom and go poop, don't be scared. Just don't sit there and push you could get, hernia or whatever. But anyways, thank you for listening to my weird recovery, and I'll see you in the next video. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Bye!